I just took a massive shit, and Halloween Kills comes out today. It's gonna be a great day. Going to the movie theater, going to the movie theater, going. Gonna get a parking spot. Gonna get a parking spot. The fuck is this? Well, this sucks. I wanted to watch Halloween Kills, but the theater's closed and the movie got delayed to next year. Fuck! Let's see what's on the shelf. Well, I never did do a proper review on the 2018 film, so I might as well talk about it. You know, usually when I talk about a Halloween film, my friend Steven is nearby. I better give him a call to see what he's up to.
Princess Peach hentai. Oh yeah, baby. Let's get it. Who the fuck is calling me, dude? God, I just put lotion on my hands, dude. It's fucking Sean. Hello?
Hey, Steve Meitzer. How's it going, buddy?
Sean, great to hear from you, man. What's up?
Oh, not much. Was just about to film my Halloween 2018 review. You want to join me?
Dude, there's a pandemic going on. Is that safe?
Yeah, sure. If you're uncomfortable, you can just wear a little mask there.
You know, I do have a spare hazmat suit just lying around. I could just wear that. You know what? I'm in.
No, that's okay. You don't have to go through all the trouble
Yes,
putting... Oh, Jesus! Fuck! Steve, you're here, and, what are you doing here so fast?
I'm always here, Sean.
Okay, let's move over to the couch. Okay. Well, now that we're here, let's talk about Halloween.
But didn't you already talk about Halloween? Like the time I almost died?
Oh, no, not that one.
Oh, so the Rob Zombie remake.
No, not that one either. I mean the 2018 film that's also titled Halloween.
Released in 2018 and directed by David Gordon Green, Halloween... why do they call it the exact same name as the original and the Rob Zombie film? It's not a reboot or a remake, it's a direct sequel to the original film, ignoring all the other films in the franchise. They should have just called it Halloween Returns.
Yeah, it would have made a lot more sense and cut down on the confusion.
I agree, Steven.
Anyways, after a lot of disappointing sequels and a continuously confusing continuity, the filmmakers decided to wipe the slate clean with this movie, placing it in an alternative timeline that ignores every single movie in the franchise except for the original 1978 film.
So in this timeline, Michael Myers was captured back in 1978, and also in this timeline, Laurie Strode is no longer the sister of Michael Myers, which changes things quite a bit. With Michael and Laurie no longer being siblings, it makes his motivation for going after her a lot more ambiguous, and it also makes him seem scarier because we do not know why he is doing this.
What made Michael Myers scarier in the first movie was the unknown. The fact that he acted on his own will, going around killing people for no reason. He was just the embodiment of pure evil, a force of nature that could not be stopped.
However, Laurie and Michael being siblings has been so well established within the franchise ever since the second movie that it's still kind of hard not to see them that way, especially since Jamie Lee Curtis is playing Laurie Strode again.
Anyways, as the movie begins, we pick up 40 years after the original film, where a pair of investigative journalists named Aaron Corey and Dana Haynes travel to Smith's Grove Psychiatric Hospital. The two of them are conducting a true crimes podcast that is centered around Michael Myers and the murders from 40 years ago. They even encounter Michael Myers and try to get a response from him. Aaron even presents Michael with his mask and tries to get him to speak, but they get no response from him as we lead into the opening credits.
In terms of the opening credits, they mirror that of the original Halloweens, but this time around, the rotting jack-o'-lantern reverts back to its pre-Reddit self. You could almost interpret this symbolically as the franchise getting itself back on track after a string of disappointing movies. It is as if the filmmakers were reassuring us that this was going to be the Halloween film that audiences have been waiting for, and for the most part, they do deliver on that promise.
And another great thing about the credits this time around is that John Carpenter is back to do the music for the movie, along with the help of his son Cody and Daniel Davis.
The score itself is easily the best it's been since Halloween 3 Season of the Witch.
Yeah, they even, update the original Halloween theme and add in some more memorable tracks.
Exactly. I think in terms of the new music, my favorite track on the album has got to be the Shape Hunts Alice.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
Yeah, it truly is amazing. And it's really great to see Carpenter back to his roots scoring the film, alongside he's got a son, he's got another composer alongside him. If you get the chance to, I highly recommend checking out the score. It's all on YouTube, so put some headphones in and jam out to that shit. You won't regret it.
After being unsuccessful in getting a response from Michael Myers, both Aaron and Dana travel to go see Laurie Strode. Now, Laurie this time around is still living in fear of Michael Myers. She now lives in a fenced-in home, she has been divorced, she drinks, she alienated herself from most of her family, and has become a bit of a paranoid survivalist, which even cost her custody of her own daughter. So basically, she went the Sarah Connor from Terminator 2 route.
Now, as cool as it is to see Jamie Lee Curtis play Laurie Strode in a different light this time around, and don't get me wrong, she has some amazing scenes in the movie. She's terrific. She's by far the best part of the movie alongside Michael Myers. But I gotta admit, I am a little bit tired of seeing Sarah Connor be the default characteristic to show drastic change in someone's character. Now, Sarah Connor is an amazing character, but I feel like it's always kind of the go-to anymore. When somebody's been through a traumatic experience, they immediately become Sarah Connor. And Sarah Connor is great, but with everyone kind of mimicking that, it makes that characteristic seem a lot less special. And same thing here with Laurie. What I really liked about Laurie in the old movies was her intelligence and how resourceful she was, and how that was what ultimately helped her outwit Michael Myers. She was not some backwoods survivalist like she was in this movie, and part of that is why I still prefer H2O Laurie Strode to this version. In H2O, she still struggles with the trauma of what happened to her when she was younger, and she still lives in fear of Michael Myers, much like the 2018 movie. She still lives in a fenced-in area like in this movie. She still has marital problems like in this movie. She still was this protective mother, but unlike the 2018 movie, she did not ruin her kids' childhood to the point where they were taken away from her. She was even successful, having become the headmistress for an academy, and did not have to become some social recluse to do so. Laurie showed strength by overcoming that path and trying to have a more normal life. While it is true she changed her name and moved away so Michael wouldn't come after her or her family, but in the end, she finally does overcome that fear by standing up to Michael in a pretty powerful scene. I also like how the climax of H2O showcases how her resourcefulness and intelligence is critical in defeating Michael in that movie, and she did all of this without having to become some sort of backwoods survivalist. Again, I just want to emphasize, I still like this take on Laurie. I don't dislike it. I just prefer the H2O characterization a little bit more. Now, I understand why they kind of went in this new direction a bit. It creates some interesting family drama. I'm just, like I said, a little bit tired of that type of characteristics. That just feels kind of like the default anymore. But don't get me wrong, there's some really great stuff here. Jamie Lee Curtis is allowed to play with some new layers to Laurie Strode and what relates to her character and also Laurie's family.
Now, actually, speaking about Laurie's family, let's talk about them in this movie. After speaking with Aaron and Dana, we are then introduced to Laurie's family. There is her daughter, Karen, played by Judy Greer. Now, while I think Judy Greer was a really good actress, I can't help but feel just a little bit disappointed that they didn't get Danielle Harris to play her daughter in the movie. I've always wanted to see Danielle Harris and Jamie Lee Curtis share the screen together in a Halloween film.
Yeah, I'm a little bummed about that too, especially considering the fact that Danielle actively campaigned to be in this movie, but unfortunately she wasn't given the chance to, much to the disappointment of most Halloween fans. Again, no disrespect to Judy Greer, but I think most fans, let's be real, 95% would have preferred Danielle Harris in this movie, because she carried that franchise for 2 movies, and she also was in the zombie films, but she unfortunately was kind of shafted by the time Halloween 6 came around, and damn it, I want to see them act on screen together.
No, man.
Come on, can we get something?
After Karen, there is her husband, Ray, who probably has the best line in the entire movie.
That was it. Oh, mother! Oh, man. I got peanut butter on my penis.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that that's a Danny McBride line. In fact, with McBride working on the scripts, he definitely injected a lot of comedy into the film, scattershot throughout the movie. For better or for worse.
Yeah, I think for me, the funniest part of the movie was when Vicky was babysitting Julian.
Oh, that kid
Yeah.
was great. Like, it definitely had my whole theater laughing. He definitely stole the show. He did great. Yeah, he was great.
Lastly, in terms of Laurie's family, there was her granddaughter Allison, who sadly is one of the weaker points of the movie. She doesn't really leave much of an impact as a character, and is just sort of there. In fact, most of the teenage characters, for the most part, are just forgettable.
She even has a boyfriend who completely just vanishes at some point in the movie. He even goes to a Halloween dance with Allison, where he cheats on her at the dance.
You fucking whore.
Afterwards, he throws her phone away, acting like an asshole, and then that's it. We don't see him anymore. He doesn't get killed by Michael or anything like that. He's just gone, and instead it's his friend who's the one who gets killed.
So, what was the point of even having him in the movie?
Anyways, after we are introduced to Laurie's family, Michael is soon taken on a bus and transported to a maximum security prison. However, on the way there, the bus crashes and Michael escapes, and he makes his way back to Haddonfield, but not before he kills Aaron and Dana at a gas station so that he can get his iconic mask back.
Michael putting on the mask once again is a pretty epic moment, signifying the return of one of cinema's most iconic movie villains. I get goosebumps just watching it. So after putting the mask back on, Michael makes his way back to Haddonfield and starts up his killing spree again, with one sequence in particular that really stands out.
The best scene in the whole movie is this whole sequence that's done in one take and is 3.5 minutes long and involves Michael going from house to house killing everyone in his path.
From a technical standpoint, it is the best directed sequence of this franchise and does a great job showcasing the directing skills of David Gordon Green.
I also think that this sequence does the best job at capturing who Michael Myers is as a character, this truly unstoppable force of nature that kills without reason.
So, with Michael going around killing people, Laurie tries to find her family while the sheriff's department is aided by Michael's psychiatrist, Dr. Ranbir Sartain, to help in locating him.
Meanwhile, Allison has a run with Michael, but is soon rescued by Dr. Sartain and one of the deputies named Frank Hawkins, who was the person who arrested Michael back in 1978. However, while out driving, Hawkins encounters Michael and runs him over with his car. He then gets out his gun to try and kill Michael, but in a twist, he is killed by Sartain, who is revealed to have orchestrated Michael's entire escape.
Because he's batshit fucking crazy!
Yeah, the whole reason this dumbass let Michael out in the first place is because he became so obsessed with him and wanted him out in the wild to study him.
Yeah, and let's talk about this twist for a second. I feel like this movie wouldn't have changed at all without the twist. It just seems kind of unnecessary. Like, it's not a good or bad thing per se, it's just kind of out of nowhere.
Yeah, I agree. When I was in the theater and I first saw this, I was just kind of confused. I didn't really know what to make of it, and after watching this movie on multiple occasions, it just feels off. Michael could have very well just escaped on his own will. You didn't really need this twist in here. It's just kind of one of those weird things that to this day, I don't really know what to make of it. I don't hate it, but I don't love it either.
Like, it doesn't damage the movie in any way, but it doesn't really do it any favors.
Although, it does lead to a pretty awesome kill.
After Sartain kills the deputy, he takes Michael and Allison to where Laurie is. At which point Michael breaks out of the police car and just fucking destroys Sartain's head with his big-ass boot.
Afterwards, he kills some cops and Laurie's son-in-law, Ray, before we get the climax of the movie, where Michael makes his way into Laurie's Home Alone house and has a showdown with her.
After checking each room on the first floor, Laurie makes her way upstairs and goes into a creepy room with a bunch of mannequins. She finds Ray dead in the closet, and when she turns around, Michael jumps out at her and throws her out the window. After Laurie is thrown out the window, Allison makes her way through the front door and rushes to her mom in the bunker. Michael hears this and makes his way back downstairs and finds where they are hiding at which point Karen shoots Michael and he falls down the stairs into the bunker. Then with the help of Laurie, the three of them manage to trap Michael inside the bunker.
I love how Laurie Strode had 40 years to prepare for this, and this is all she has to show for it. Meanwhile, Kevin McAllister was able to booby-trap his entire house within a day and even had time to make a highly nutritious and delicious macaroni and cheese dinner.
Yeah, he's 8 years old. What's your excuse, Laurie? Then, in the final scene of the movie, Laurie commits arson and sets her house ablaze with Michael trapped inside as the three of them escape, leaving Michael to burn to death. Which we know he didn't because there's going to be 2 more movies coming out.
So that was Halloween 2018, and while I do find some faults within the film, I think it's one of the best, if not arguably the best, of the Halloween sequels. The Halloween franchise was pretty much dead for at least a decade. It had hit rock bottom and needed to be rejuvenated, and that's exactly what this movie accomplished. It was well acted and well directed with a fantastic score. However, I do have some issues. Particularly with the ending, I do feel as though it is a bit rushed and doesn't really feel like a good finite ending to the movie. Compare this to the climax in Halloween H2O where Laurie faces off against Michael. That felt a lot more exciting, and it ended with Laurie cutting Michael's head off. That is before Resurrection came along and fucked it all off. But taking Resurrection out of the equation, that still felt like a more finite ending than this one did. Same with the original Halloween 2's ending. With this movie, the ending just feels a bit rushed and doesn't really pack much of a punch. It isn't given time to breathe and just feels kind of abrupt. But other than that, I thought that this movie was really good. It had a lot of nice callbacks to the previous films. I especially like the Silver Shamrock Easter eggs, and I appreciate how they portrayed Michael Myers in this movie. He's not the pawn of some cult. He doesn't come from some redneck hillbilly family like in the Rob Zombie films. He is not motivated by killing his family. Michael Myers is a force of nature. He is the shape and is the pure embodiment of evil, acting on his own killer instincts for no reason whatsoever. And that is what made him so scary in the first place, and cemented him as one of cinema's most iconic villains.
And for me, overall, I really enjoyed this re-sequel. Sure, there was some lacking character development in the movie, such as Allison and her boyfriend, but at the end of the day, it was such an incredibly fun watch with some great kills and some beautifully shot scenes. Specifically the scene where Michael goes from house to house and is shot like a video game. But one of the biggest gripes I do have with the movie is the ending. Just felt like it was a little rushed and could have been better overall, but at the end of the day, this isn't a movie that was made for the Oscars. It was made to be an enjoyable slasher Halloween film, and I think it accomplished that and then some.
Totally 100% agree with what you just said there, Steve. And here's hoping that both Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends deliver satisfying entries in this franchise, and something great when they eventually do come out.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to those, and hopefully they'll be worth the wait, and I really hope that they improve upon the weak points of this film.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know what's funny, Steve?
What's that?
We reviewed a Halloween movie, and Michael Myers didn't try to kill us this
Oh my
time.
God, you're right.
Oh, it's wonderful.
That's
wonderful.
really nice.
I didn't see him here, I didn't see him there, I don't see him anywhere. Hey, Michael! Nothing.
Say
Nothing.
something.
Yes, exactly. He's not here. This is fantastic. So,
Awesome.
but I do wonder what he's up to.
Yeah, I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, I guess so. But, yeah, I think we said all that we need to say about Halloween 2018. I think it's a nice resurgence to the franchise. I really hope the upcoming sequels, when they do eventually come out, deliver a really good, satisfying conclusion to this franchise. It desperately needs a satisfying ending.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we said all we need to say. It's pretty good. We both recommend it.
Yeah,
But,
absolutely.
yeah. I guess that's it. That's going to be it for the video. You got anything to plug?
Yeah, I do stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/Steve Massey. I'm sure he'll put a link in the description for you. So
Yeah, I'll put a link in the description for everyone so you can check out his Twitch streams if you want to subject yourself to that kind of torture.
Oh.
Of course, I had to do it. So, once again, thank you so much for joining me, Steven. It's always a pleasure to
Always
have
a
you on
pleasure.
here. We got some unfinished business with it. I hope all of you who've been watching this video really enjoyed it, had some fun with us talking about Halloween 2018. And we will see you all next year when we talk about Halloween Kills. So that should be a lot of fun to talk about. But as always, thank you all so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Be sure to hit that bell for notifications. Like this video, subscribe it to the channel, share it with your friends, all that other fun shit. And as always, take care now. Bye-bye then, and I will see you all in the next video. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween, kids. I'm gonna kill Steve and Sean next year. You take my words for it. But until then, I'm gonna spend my entire pandemic drinking fucking whiskey. Cheers. Happy Halloween.